Now, Tesla is reportedly moving ahead with its plans to build a data center in China. It could be used to help develop the self-driving algorithm. That is according to reporting from Reuters. For more, we're going to bring in our very own Praz Subramanian. Praz, this is a really big deal. What do we know so far?
Well, it's actually a bit of a wrinkle here. It's not so much that they're building a data center, it's that they're actually using the data there and they can't bring it to the US. They had to already have a data center in China per their, the local regulations about data collection. So the key is that Musk wanted to bring all that data from China to the US to train the self-driving AI algo, right? Can't do that. So now, according to Reuters, he's reversing course and said, okay, data center stays here, the data stays here, we'll train the algorithm in China. I mean, it's important because that's where the most cars in the world with the FSD type sensors are in China. You also have a lot of mapping technology there, a lot of other partners there that can share data. So he's saying potentially, what if we train the algo there in China and then take that information and spread it elsewhere, right? That's sort of like the pivot here. There's some risk there, with dealing with China. You never know when they can lock you down. You never know when they can say, you know what, we're going to stop you here. So it's kind of a risk, but also I think he sees that as an opportunity. They use the Reuters article notes that China Gigafactory became the leading factory there for them, and that wasn't necessarily going to be the case when people thought about them creating that factory there. So maybe China is the push, maybe China is the angle for where they're going to attack FSD.
Over the past few days, Tesla bears were questioning the fate of Tesla in China thanks to the increased tensions between the US and the country, but the automaker managed to prove them all wrong once again. Tesla is pushing plans to build a data center in China to transfer the data collected by its vehicles back to the US. But that's not everything, as it's also exploring a partnership with a Chinese tech giant. On the other hand, Elon Musk made some bold claims about the upcoming huge improvements to Tesla's full self-driving software, and these improvements are expected to make the software 10 times better. That's why, in today's video, we're going to walk you through all of Tesla's latest news, and not only that, but we'll also look at legendary investor Warren Buffett's updated, long-term view on Tesla and answer the question of whether or not now is the time to invest in Tesla while the stock is relatively affordable compared to its long-term potential. But first, if you want to keep up with Tesla's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to today's video.
Is this a strategy that you think, do analysts think that it makes sense in terms of Tesla's longer term goals in trying to increase that widespread adoption?
Yeah, I think there's two parts, right? I think yes, because it's a big market. It's sort of widely mapped. Other players like Baidu already doing that stuff there, and you can kind of work together with. But the problem is that then they don't necessarily own the data potentially, right? Yeah. Also, there's a mention of how you can't sell these NVIDIA chips in China because they're banned. So how do you get around that? They need those chips to build a data center and to train the algo. So, but yeah, I think they're right. There's an opportunity, but also some risk.
Elon is currently pushing plans for building a Tesla data center in China to use the data collected by Tesla vehicles in the country to train the company's FSD software and power Tesla's AI ambitions. On top of that, the carmaker has been repeatedly trying to get approval to transfer data collected in China to the US, so it's unclear whether Elon would proceed with both plans or go with just one. In my opinion, it would be better to proceed with both plans as this would give Tesla more data on FSD in both countries. Additionally, collecting and processing data in two countries will allow the automaker to speed up the process of training FSD and improve autonomous driving, which in return will be very useful for the long-awaited Cybercab in August. Also, China is a perfect country to collect FSD data from rather than European countries, and you might be wondering why. Well, according to experts, China's complicated traffic conditions with more pedestrians and cyclists than in many other countries like the US provide more scenarios that are key for training autonomous driving algorithms at a faster pace, which would help Tesla solidify its position as the global autonomous driving leader. Moreover, Tesla may have already found a potential partner in China who might be very interested in utilizing Tesla's robotaxis, so let's find out who could potentially partner up with Tesla. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Investocracy.
Is Elon's technology superior to this right now? You think, Sorkin, what he wants to test, or is it all the same? And it's going to be years till this is really. Go ahead, Una.
No. I was going to just say that, obviously he's not here yet. There is a lot of expectation that Tesla is going to be rolling out robotaxis here and experimenting as well. There was actually some commentary about that in the state press. Just yesterday, there was an article about how Baidu had spoken to some of the local reporters and said that they would be open to the idea of working with Tesla on the robotaxi, on Tesla's robotaxi, but depending on the progress and the rollout of that robotaxi, but Baidu wouldn't comment on that report.
As you saw in the video, Baidu, the Chinese IT giant, which is also the world's largest company in the field of driverless taxi services, is open for a partnership with Tesla. In fact, the general manager of Baidu's autonomous driving division, Xu Baoxian, has said that entering into a partnership with Tesla could be beneficial for both parties because, in this case, Tesla could use Baidu's maps, which will tremendously help develop its autonomous driving software to navigate the Chinese streets. This will greatly benefit Tesla, as Cathie Wood's ARK Invest recently said that by 2027, the robotaxi business alone could account for 2/3 of Tesla's enterprise value. In other words, ARK Invest is saying that 74% of the upside for Tesla stock today could be from the robotaxi vision. Also, when we look at the growth estimates of the robotaxi industry, Cathie's huge upside becomes justified, since the robotaxi market was estimated to be worth $0.97 billion in 2022 and is likely to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 66.3% from 2023 to 2029 to reach $34.1 billion in 2029. Elon Musk is thinking in the same general direction, and that's why he said investors shouldn't buy Tesla stock unless they believe the company can solve autonomy. And with every FSD update, it becomes apparent that Tesla is set on this goal. In fact, Elon said that Tesla's next supervised FSD version 12.4 software update will result in a 5 to 10x improvement in miles per intervention, compared to the 12.3 version, according to his post on X. Additionally, in his post, he said that FSD 12.5 will be out in late June, with which we will also see a major improvement in miles per intervention, which implies that it will go from approximately the estimated 3,600 miles per intervention in the 12.4 version to something close or even more than 10,000 miles per intervention. On top of that, Elon mentioned in a post last week on X that 12.4 has almost completely retrained models, and that the final touches are for comfort, as it sometimes accelerates or brakes too fast for most people's taste. Also, the 12.5 and 12.6 are in various stages of testing, as they are getting into rare, complex situations, for example, going down a narrow one-way road, encountering a road closure, and having to reverse out to find a new route. Now, with the unveiling of the dedicated robotaxi this coming August 8th, it is then unsurprising that Tesla is putting a lot of resources into FSD and accelerating the system's improvements immensely. After all, FSD will be a cornerstone for the Cybercab, which is essentially a vehicle that could very well take Tesla into its next growth phase. Moreover, we have a video of testing Tesla's FSD on roads where it wasn't programmed. In a recent video posted by user ElectroTimmy on X, it shows a Tesla driving through the streets of Moldova in Europe, and the man in the video says that this Tesla was imported from the US. Now, you might be wondering how the car is navigating the streets. Well, he said the FSD is using OpenStreetMap maps, not Google Maps. Also, you have to keep in mind that FSD isn't officially released anywhere in Europe except Germany. So, if he could manage to use FSD perfectly fine in Moldova, this shows how well the software operates anywhere in the world, since it's essentially using cameras for navigation through the streets. Therefore, it's safe to say that you could use Tesla's FSD anywhere with minimum to zero human interventions, even though Tesla is still working towards full autonomy, so imagine how the software will be once it's completed. With that being said, Warren Buffett recently shared an updated view on Tesla and said that it is good in the long term, so let's find out why. But first, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video. If we do a quick search across the internet, it will be clear that there is fear when it comes to investing in Tesla today. That's why it's worth remembering the advice given by one of the world's most prominent investors, Warren Buffett, where he famously said, "Be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy." While it's very unlikely that Buffett will ever invest in Tesla, considering that he said at Berkshire Hathaway's 2023 annual shareholder meeting that investing in the automotive industry is just too hard, thanks to the tough global competition, but he's a fan of the company's FSD software, and even though he has an insurance company that could get hit if FSD delivers on its promises. He even said that if it manages to reduce accidents by 50%, then it's going to be good for society. With that being said, Elon Musk's goal is to make Tesla the most valuable company in the world one day, and it will do that by making its full self-driving software more capable, which Elon is close to achieving. Therefore, when viewing Tesla stock from the context of its future endeavors, its potential begins to shine through and hints that it is currently trading at a discount, and this could be the sign to not miss the chance on the stock while it's cheap compared to its future potential. So, what do you think about Tesla stock? And what are your expectations for Tesla's stock? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to tell us what your valuation for Tesla is. If you would like to know more about the latest updates about companies like Tesla, then go ahead and click on the next video on your screen.